The Miami Bambino race is up next. 125,000 of you, as of today's date, have watched the race from Larkhall. Championship leader joins me. It's Henry Domain. Now, Henry, at Rowra, we saw you start on pole there, but you got a really bad start, dropped back to 6th through turn 1. And then at Larkhall, we appear to have the same sort of issue. Started P2 that day and then dropped way back to, I think it was 7th. Have you been able to work out what that problem was?
Yes, we went testing at Wilson Mill. We managed to solve the issue.
Can you tell us what the issue was?
No, it's a kind of a secret.
Okay, all right. Rissington this weekend, been here before?
No.
What do you make of the circuit?
It's got good overtaking opportunities, especially going through the dog leg on the brakes.
Okay, and obviously it's a circuit. I guess hopefully you won't have the same problem today, but if you do, obviously lots of overtaking, that's what you want really, isn't it? Gives you a chance to get back into it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good luck today.
Thank you.
Cards close to the chest for Henry Domain. He starts third alongside Jack Poole, but it's Ethan Woodward and Jesse Phillips on the front row from Domain and Poole. Then Jake Beecroft and Alfie Howland. Then Charlie Very, Logan Howes, Poppy Thomas, and Jensen Chalk rounds out the 10 from Jack Robinson and Ethan Bath, Bethany Freeman and Daniel Murray and Laurent, Riley Stewart and Teddy Woodard on row 8 from Luca Narroway, Felix Smedley and Tyler O'Neill. This is going to be an interesting and competitive one as once again Darren Beavers gets himself ready for the start. No grid girls in the Bambino Kart Club, although Darren is perfectly glamorous on his own. So the drivers will get themselves ready for the start. In Miami Bambino, the grid is cleared. Here are the big players. Jesse Phillips, second in the standings. Ethan Woodward on the front row of the grid with him, in third in the championship standings. But on that second row, Henry Domain with a championship lead is there. And that's a much better start than we've seen from him in the past. Brilliant. He's actually made up from fourth on the grid to second as they go through the first two corners. It's a perfect start for the number 4. But out in front, it is the 6. No problem at all for Ethan Woodward as he gets away very strong off the grid. But Henry Domain has reversed fortunes. No places lost, places gained.
Yeah, and in fact, it was Jesse Phillips who started on the front row, had the worst of the starts. He dropped to 4th. He's back in a 3rd now, though, as they come down towards us, towards the dog leg.
Yeah, he made the move back on Jack Poole, who is there in 4th position, having to go defensive into the dog leg on the first lap just to hold track position. But no problem at all for Ethan Woodward. He leads the way. Then it is Henry Domain in front of Jesse Phillips. We're watching the 6 go through the shot. 51 is next up. That's Jack Poole. And then the cavalry behind is already getting racy. Henry Domain in P2 at the moment. And up the inside, Jesse Phillips trying to get into second. Lovely move. That was a really bold lunge on the inside line and has got himself into second position. So in the point standings, he's second and he's back in a P2 on the road as well. So Woodward from Phillips, Domain, Poole, Beecroft, Very, Logan Howes, Alfie Howland, and then Ethan Bath and Jensen Chalk rounding out the top 10. Brilliant racing so far. Plenty of time still to go.
Yeah, battle for the lead. The top 3 are well clear. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click the notification bell to get notification, email, little message each time we upload new content, guys. Top 3 coming down towards the dog leg. That's Woodward out front. Bit of a gap back to Domain and Phillips, 2nd and 3rd. I think that's Phillips in.
Oh, no, that's Jesse Phillips.
No, that's Domain, Jake.
It is Domain. You're right. My apologies.
Well, they went through the line with Domain in 2nd, but Jesse Phillips got that place back, and then that was Domain looking for the move up the inside. To be fair to him, he's backed out of it, had to hit the brakes rather than hit the man in front. Jesse Phillips has spun himself out, and he's got a load of work to do now to get himself back into contention, not only in this race, but in the championship standings as well. That will have hurt him.
Yeah, let's watch it again as he closes in behind Phillips. Look, he realises that Phillips is getting away. Phillips goes out wide. He carries a lot of speed through the first apex and then suddenly realises, I'm going to hit him if I don't slam on the brakes. Gets it going again.
Yeah, got to be fair to Henry Domain there. He knew he was going to run into Jesse Phillips. Didn't want to do that. Risk an exclusion and taking someone off. You never like to do that.
Yep.
Hit the brakes. He spun himself out. But he's got the quality to get back into contention.
Speaking of which,
here he comes.
Isn't that him making the move already to make the start of it? Logan Howes is currently battling away in the top 4 in the Drivers' Championship, but trying desperately to hang on. As on his inside, he's been battling the last couple of laps, in fact, with Alfie Howland, of course. Jack Beecroft, meanwhile, is 14th in the standings and 4th in the race at the moment, having only just made his national campaign get underway as well. So he's doing a dual campaign in this 2019 season. Charlie Very trying to get himself up the order as well as he now battles away. That is a very steely move from Domain as he gets on the inside of first Howland on that lap and then Logan Howes. So Henry Domain up into P6, and there is that quality we were talking about. His next target is Jake Beecroft, and that's going to be a tough one to pass.
Yeah, 5 places it cost him, that spin.
Oh, this is
He's
for the
getting
lead.
Back now, back for the lead.
That's Phillips. He's gone very deep into the dog
Not
leg.
gonna hold on, switch back.
Oh, nicely done from Ethan Woodward. He realised, well, I'm just going to keep my normal racing line. And Jesse Phillips, he missed his braking point there by maybe 1.5 meters. That was all it took. And he just hung out wide, and that was perfectly easy for Ethan Woodward to steal the position back. So now he's just got to get back into the rhythm and get back on terms with the number 6. But Jack Poole, Charlie Very and Jake Beecroft are about to take some heat from Henry Domain.
Yeah, Domain looks like he's back into what will be 5th place as he goes through the line. So Henry Domain recovering after that spin. 5 places it cost him, but
Here he
making
goes
the places
again.
back now. Now it is Jesse Phillips. Looks like he's holding on to it. He
Lovely.
has. So lovely move by Jesse Phillips for the lead.
That was a very beautiful manoeuvre. That was a carbon copy of the move he made originally. The only difference being he didn't get too wide. He just rolled the kart through on power. Just allowed the momentum of the kart to carry him from the outside back to the racing line. That was well held by Jesse Phillips, and now Ethan Woodward has got to try and come back into it. Meanwhile, Henry Domain has shot up to 3rd.
That's a great recovery. He's kept it all. He's not allowed the red mist
What
to
was that?
descend. He's kept
3
it all
laps?
under control.
3 laps he did that.
Yeah, he's
That's amazing.
lost 5 places and got them all back.
Yeah, there he is in front of Jack Poole, and then it is Charlie Very in front of Jake Beecroft, and there is the number 4. Henry Domain has slotted himself nicely back into 3rd position. Very composed racing indeed from Henry Domain, with Very and Beecroft now scrabbling over 5th position. Then Logan Howes in 7th, in front of Alfie Howland, with Poppy Thomas in front of Ethan Barth. Here we go side by side. Jack Poole trying to get back on this switch on the inside of Henry Domain. Can he cut back? No, he's not quite going to get the position. But we've got 2 by 2 hurrah, haven't we? Because we've got Phillips and Woodward up front, Domain and Poole for 3rd, then it's Very and Beecroft for 5th, and it's Howes and Howland for 7th place. It is Noah's Ark at 40 mile an hour.
I was going to say that. We just need another arc now. That will do.
Brilliant bit of driving up front from Jesse Phillips as he tries to hang on from Ethan Woodward, and hang on is the word as he slides there through the elbow. Back onto the main straight and over the line. As we go into the next lap, it's lap 7. The drivers continue to push further forward, so this is going to be a very interesting battle between these two. 0.102 for the competitors as they push on. Oh, and Phillips runs out wide. Woodward might get a chance to get the switch on the inside. No chance on this particular occasion, but still Woodward, you can tell that he's hungry. The anticipation that he could still get the victory is sky high at the moment, and he is pushing with every fibre of his being into the dogleg. Still pushing each other very hard into the braking zones, and then back on the run to bottom straight through the right, the first of the 2 apexes, then into the second, and that carries the momentum through. You can see though how much rubber has been put down over the course of the weekend. You think that these Bambino drivers aren't pushing. They really, really are. They are giving it absolutely everything, and an Iami Bambino as well is one of the most hotly contested classes in this paddock.
It is. Jesse Phillips, of course, was the winner at Larkhall. Nice time out, guys, you may have remembered, and that's helping him to close down Henry Domain's championship lead. Ethan Woodward not out of it either on the man on the 6 kart there. Easy to spot with his green helmet. You can easily see him, even when it's from the drone you can spot that green helmet very easily indeed.
Well, Ethan Woodward is trying every trick in the book. He wants to go for the overtake, but when you're this young, you've got to remember these guys are still very, very early in their motor racing careers. They just want to push. Meanwhile, Teddy Woodard is having a good battle with Daniel Moran-Laurent and Bethany Freeman. They're having a great squabble for 13th. Further up the road, that's Logan Howes dueling with Alfie Howland and Poppy Thomas. You look in the background and we might just have seen Jack Robertson dueling with Ethan Barth for 10th. But here is Howes and Howland. Poppy Thomas just trying to stay in the mix.
Yeah, Poppy was having some problems with the kart. I think in an earlier session she had to come off track, but looks like it's going okay now.
Now this is going to be an issue, potentially. They go round the outside of Felix Smedley, who does exactly the right thing there. That was well held by Smedley. you know, the onus is on the drivers leading the race to make their way through the traffic. So Felix Smedley was actually very sensible there. He made sure that he wasn't going to cause a roadblock to the drivers, but he didn't come off the racing line. He was not unpredictable. The onus is on the leaders. They've got to move off the racing line to get past the back markers. So that was smart thinking from Felix Smedley. He just got on with his own race, and now they're knitting their way through each of the drivers in turn. They got past Riley Stewart, and now they're going for Jensen Chalk, who's had a really tricky race, to be fair. But Jesse Phillips still holding the momentum in the lead of the race. That's Riley Stewart they've gone past. Jensen Chalk is next up after his incident. So my apologies there. Riley Stewart they've just overtaken. So Stewart and Smedley still getting up to speed, of course, on Ayami Bambino. But Jesse Phillips and Ethan Woodward battling away for position. And full credit to Riley Stewart and Felix Smedley. Neither of them caused an issue for the leaders. You've just got to focus on your own race when you're a back marker. It's very rare to be a back marker in karting, but it's how you deal with that situation that, you know, colours the type of racing driver you are. And they both dealt with that situation very smartly indeed.
Logan Howes battling away with Alfie Howland. That is the battle for 7th and 8th place, respectively. That's the battle. Is this the battle for 13th again?
Did I just see Phillips and Woodward side by side in the dogleg in the background? The only reason I say that is because you can tell, as we've mentioned already, the green helmet of Ethan Woodward from a mile away. And he was definitely, he's back in front. Look at that. He's made the move on Jesse Phillips. So he's dug deep and he's found another overtake. So Jesse Phillips is down to second. Ethan Woodward back in a first. And as we go in to the next lap, they're going to go side by side again. And Phillips is going to get back through. Well, that lead lasted all of about 5 corners.
Brilliant battling. Great battling. This is where these youngsters learn their racecraft. It's a fantastic championship, this, for the youngest of the karters in the country. You can join this championship in the C50 class from the age of 5, a year of your 6th birthday. So if you do want to get in touch, get in touch with the championship via the website BambinoKartClub.com.
And they're still battling away, these two. Now, interestingly, as these two keep squabbling, the man who's dropped the 4th place battle, and we're watching it at the moment, this is Jack Poole and Charlie Very getting their way past Riley Stewart to lap him and taking Jake Beecroft along for the ride. Henry Domain has dropped these guys completely, and he is now 5 seconds up the road. As we look at Felix Smedley, this is only his 3rd weekend in the championship, following in the footsteps, of course, of young Frankie, who we saw earlier on, of course, in the Honda Cadet, doing a fantastic job. But now we've got a really interesting tussle with these two.
Tussles all the way through the field, Jake, isn't there?
There are indeed, but you've got to remember, with Woodward and Phillips swapping positions for the lead, and they've done it again by the look of it on the last lap, but Henry Domain is actually now catching them. We're on lap 12.
He's in the box seat as well. If these two tangle, of course, Domain will pick up the pieces, potentially.
Yeah, he's in 3rd position. He's doing everything he needs to do at this point. We're on lap 12, and I think, looking at the time we've got, we're likely to only get maybe 2 or 3 more laps at the most battling away. There goes Felix Smedley into... He's in 18th position, but still learning on the job. It may only be for 18th this time, but the more experience you gain, it will be for a race victory soon. But Jesse Phillips and Ethan Woodward still dueling away for position, and a bit of a spin there from Daniel Morin-Laurent. So a bit of a moment there. Not bad, considering, though, that this is his first appearance in the title fight, and he's nowhere near the back markers at this point, is he? He's got straight on with it, and he's already battling again with Jensen Chalk as we go into the mix again through the first corner. This is the battle for 4th position, Charlie Very and Jack Poole. And here are the 2 leaders, Phillips and Woodward, who are still swapping, well, very nearly swapping rubber on the rims as they get that close to each other.
Back markers in front as well, Jake. They're going to come into play. They may decide who wins this. There they are. Jensen Chalk is leading the battle for 15th, 13th in the championship. But it may be these two that decide the win here.
Yeah, he's in front of Daniel Morin-Laurent, and obviously those two hoping to have a really strong race now to finish off with after some difficulties. But these two could well take advantage of the fact they've got slower traffic in front. If they get the right move on their opponents, then you're going to see a very exciting finish to the proceedings as they continue to battle through. Woodward just trying to look for an opportunity on Jesse Phillips. He's not getting the space. He is not giving him any quarter at all, and he runs out wide. Woodward trying to cut through around the outside. Phillips now defends to the inside. He's caught the back markers at exactly the right moment. He dives up the inside of one, tries to come around the outside of the other, and they split him. They literally make him the hot dog in the bun up the middle. Absolutely incredible there Phillips goes one way, Woodward goes the other, and I have a feeling that Jensen Chalk's heart skipped a beat on that one. That would have been terrifying.
Great piece of driving by the two leaders there. Phillips and Woodward, one went one side, one went the other, and as you say, Jake, the man who was the sausage in the hot dog bun was the man they were going past. But what a fantastic piece of driving by the pair. Last lap.
Here we go. It's very tight to tell which one of these two is going to get it because there is such a tight fight. They're not going to catch up to the Woodward, Bath and Freeman battle, I don't think. Domain is still desperately trying to catch them as he sets the fastest lap. A 53.712. Now, again, Jesse Phillips goes out wide. Woodward needs to cut across to get the lead. He's not going to do it, but he keeps on the power. He has to blend out, and through in front, that's Ethan Bath, so they are going to have to move across and overtake him. So Bath has obviously had something happen on the last lap because he was very close to the back of Bethany Freeman. There is Freeman, and now all of a sudden things are starting to go awry for Ethan Bath. He is breaking down by the look of it. He's slowing very, very much indeed. But here comes the battle. Phillips in front of Woodward, down the straight. Into the elbow, and I think Jesse Phillips has done enough here. Woodward's going to try all the way to the line, keep pushing, you never know, but Jesse Phillips is going to take it in front of Ethan Woodward. Fantastic bit of racing, and look back, Henry Domain, what a comeback from him. Absolutely fantastic push to the line as he is only 4.5 seconds behind the leaders at the flag. Absolutely heroic. Where's the fourth place battle? There is Jack Poole, and he beats Very, punches his fist in the air. That, as far as he's concerned, is a victory. It's best of the rest in front of Very and Jake Beecroft. We wait for Logan Howes, who will just finish the race in front of Poppy Thomas, although it was proper close, and Poppy's delighted as well. What a great result for Poppy. Jesse Phillips takes the win in front of Woodward and Domain. It's breakthrough races for Jack Poole in front of Charlie Very and Jake Beecroft. Logan Howes 7th, Poppy Thomas elated with a top 10 finish in front of Alfie Howland and Jack Robinson, who completes the 10. Great racing again from BKC here at Rissington.
Jesse, you made Larkhall a bit of a boring race. You scooted off in the distance, but that wasn't the case today, was it? It was a really close race. Just talk us through it from your point of view.
Ethan today was flying, so I couldn't catch him, but on the last race, I could catch him.
Yeah, the final there's where you took the win, and that's where the trophies are handed out, and you're the man at the top step of the podium again. Well done. Who do you want to thank?
My mum for driving me here, and my mechanics, and everybody who's supporting me.
Well done.
And there are many and plentiful. Great comeback for Henry Domain, though. His championship lead is now 20 points in front of Jesse Phillips, with Ethan Woodward right in the hunt. Logan Howes and Jack Robinson continue their duel for 4th, with Seb Moore in 6th. The next weekend for the Bambino Kart Club is the O-Plate at Rowrah in 2 weeks' time.